Hi everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I'm here to do a little week ahead reading. So today I'm going to use my gigantic tarot of trees just because I love it and I felt like it. And I actually haven't used it for that many readings. This is the second edition. It's gorgeous, matte, gilded, which I can usually go either way on gilding, but the backs are glorious. It is humongous and a little bit difficult to work with, but all the things I love about it. Like this is how I'm going to shuffle it. But all the things I love about it. Oh, that was an early jumper. That might just be my shuffling style, but anyway, they outweigh the size. She is also coming out with, I don't have it to hand, but there's a mini version. It's probably about that size. And she is going to re-release that if you like the look of these cards. I can put the link to her Etsy shop at the bottom of this particular video. And yeah, it's a really great deck. I love trees and I love tarot, so it's all the things I love. So this is going to be a general reading, just for anybody it might speak to for this week of December. So now we're at the 27th. So this will go through to the 3rd of January. And I'm just going to cut this and then pull the top from each cut, although I've already had a jumper. And we're just going to see what comes up. Maybe pull some clarifying cards. My last few readings have been so fun and great in and of themselves. I haven't had to pull any clarifiers, which I was kind of bummed out by, but we'll see. So just put up the jumper there. Okay. Whew. It's got some power to this one. Okay, so the first card up is the Ace of Pentacles. That was the jumper. And the second was the Page of Cups. And the third is Death. And I don't think I'm going to have to draw any on these either. What the heck? One day I'll do one with clarifiers, but this is a pretty straightforward message, I think. I do want to say that this, if I'm going Sunday to Sunday, which is my goal to try and make this a habit and always do a Sunday week ahead reading, this is a weird week because for many people who celebrate Christmas, the Christmas time is past. Not for me, actually. I'm not celebrating Christmas until the 28th. So 29th, Christmas Eve 28th, Christmas 29th. But it's this weird limbo time where we're in between Christmas and New Year's. But also I feel like January 1st, 2021 has this burden of expectation on it, right? For most of us, I don't know one person who wouldn't put 2020 firmly in the dumpster fire category of life. And so I think we're applying all of this significance to the 1st of January, 2021, where things are going to be different in that year. And I have no doubt that they will be. Certainly everything is on track for things to be different, vaccines and a greater understanding of the coronavirus and how it spreads and blah, blah, blah. You know, some political changes in the world. I mean, depending on where you are, some positive political changes, some negative political changes. But with all of that said, what I feel here is just a ton of new energy. These are the first two draws, and of course they're backwards because I don't know how to do things on the computer. But the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups really this new young energy, which is I think what we're all hoping for, a fresh start, a new change as we move from 2020 to 2021. As I look at the Ace of Pentacles too, I mean, obviously this is a deck that uses trees and tree energy and tree illustration, but the idea of really accepting this new material, earthy energy and cradling and nurturing it, that it is an immature energy, something that's going to need some nourishment, some watering and feeding, if you will, some talking to, like all these plant metaphors. But that it may be a little bit fragile. You can see that it's sort of cradled within the branches here, but this new material energy at a time when material things have been a real struggle, things of the earth, work, finances. Even if you sort of apply this out to like the earthy side of romantic relationships, the physicality, we have been apart, some of us, in that physical, whether it be sexual or just like a touch, a handshake, a hug, like this energy is coming back into our lives, but it's not ready yet. It's fragile. And this has been such a difficult time to be without that sort of physicality, that visiting people in person and giving your relatives a hug. And so it's beginning, but it's not there yet. So we have to just sort of keep the memory of that physicality. On the other material side, right, this may be a time where we see some hope with the vaccine and things that are, material things that have been unstable. Maybe there's some sort of fresh start, some new venture, some new income source perhaps that could be beginning to make itself apparent to you this week and beyond. And I also really like that this is a winter scene. Again, I live somewhere it's totally snowy where I am right now, but this idea that there is still growth, even in these slower winter times, right? Things don't stop. They look like they're stopped. Any changes are imperceptible, but they are there, and to trust and nurture and grow. And isn't this nice to see? The idea of the Page of Cups, right? That new emotional energy, young, maybe a little bit immature, but that idea of the cup running over is something we could all use, I think. And maybe this is a good reminder to take stock of both relationships we have, but also how can we nurture any new relationships we may be able to forge during this difficult time of isolation. Not take those things for granted, shoot out a quick text, whatever it is to like feed that childlike emotion. For many of us, Christmas evokes this childlike emotion and nostalgia. And how are you going to keep that going in this time where New Year's is going to look very different? And there can be a real January crash. I am very susceptible to that. So how are we going to nurture this in the week to come and the weeks to come? Because it's there, right? This childlike emotion, joy, cup running over, waterfall, being watched over by this little dude here. So what can you do this week to really nurture that and make sure that you have it as part of your life? I'm not at all surprised to get the Death card here. Things are coming to an end. This year, 2020, thank goodness, is coming to an end. But maybe some other things too. And the fact that the Death card came up after these new beginnings signifies to me that there is still struggle and sorrow and things to work through. This delineated break that we arbitrarily make between December 31st and January 1st, like that, there's still lots of storm clouds there. But this is part of life and it is necessary. But also there are things that we need to say goodbye to. And even as we move into these brighter days, there are thought patterns, behaviors, certainly sort of in my emotional time, like the struggle of all of this. There's going to have to be some work so that I can move on from it and not carry it all with me. So this is always a valuable card. It's not always, doesn't always feel like a welcome card, but I think it's an inevitability as we continue on through this transition, which begins this week as we begin 2021, and then we move on from there. So I think it's really self-sufficient in and of itself, this little reading. I don't think I need any other clarifiers there. God, what a beautiful deck. And it just always serves me so well. So I hope that you found something from that reading and found it helpful as we move forward into this first week of 2021. I have been doing some year ahead readings for people. Again, I can't really take on more than I've got right now, but I might come on and do sort of a generalized year ahead reading. It'd be the biggest one I've ever done on a YouTube video, but I might. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But if this was valuable to you, that's awesome. If it wasn't for you, then that's totally fine too. I hope you have a wonderful week, and that you're able to really look at the benefits and the joys of moving into this new calendar year, and that you're happy and healthy. Have a great day.